What's up, guys? Welcome back to the barbershop. I got 10 more crazy Tera combinations to share with you guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support on the first video. You guys got me well over the 100 likes, so I've got 10 more to share with you guys. If you drop a fat like on this one, these are crazy. Some of these are crazy cool, some of these are crazy OP, and some of these are crazy. So let's hop right into this. Skeledirge. Okay, to start things off, we got everybody's favorite starter, fuecoco's final evolution, Skeledirge, the ghost and fire type. Here we're turning Skeledirge fairy. You may already know this one, but it's Skeledirge's probably favorite type to Terastallize into. The fairy type is only weak to poison and steel. Skeledirge resists both poison and steel with the ghost and fire typing. Fairy, steel, and ghost has phenomenal offensive coverage as well. It hits a lot of things for super effective damage. Fairy covers the ghost weaknesses with the dark. The stab fire is going to hit the steel type. The first Skeledirge fairy set I want to share with you guys is a heavy duty boots unaware set. You've probably used this set. You've got the Torch Song boosting your attack, your special attack every time you go for it, the Shadow Ball stab there, and then Terra Blast is going to be your fairy coverage when you turn into a fairy. This is a modest special offensive set, bulky, right? With slack off. It's so bulky with the boots, with unaware. What this does is this comes in on things that want to set up on you, that are set up with the unaware, doesn't take any damage with the boots, and does big damage. If you get this thing in healthy or earlier on a good switch and you start clicking Torch Song, you just run away and they can't set up on you. The unaware is so good there. So that's just an offensive set. Try this on your team. I think you're really gonna like it. Another option for Skeledirge is the bulky Spadef set. This is Clefable. This is Clefable on steroids. Look at this HP and look at this Spadef and look at this defense with slack off. You've got Will-O-Wisp to have their attack and to double your defense essentially. You're going to be able to slack that off, and then you're going to be able to continue to boost your special attack with the Torch Song and then hit with 130 base power Hex when they're burned. You can still Terastallize into a fairy type here because of the defensive typing there. It's going to be very hard to kill Skeledirge. Again, can't set up on it with unaware. It's going to slack off that damage. And if you can get this thing in behind a substitute from Cyclizar, very scary. It will run away very quickly with the Torch Song. You can really play around with the spreads and the sets on this guy, but turn it into a fairy and click Torch Song and click slack off with boots or leftovers. It's very scary. I think Skeledirge might be the best of the three starters. Quaquaval is also very good. Very, very scary. It can sweep you very easily. But let's look at the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have normal type Noivern. Okay, hear me out. I've been trying to tell everybody, normal type Noivern. Look at the speed, 379. That outspeeds Roaring Moon and everything. This is like tied for like the third or fourth fastest Pokemon right now. Turn it into a normal type Stab Specs Boom Burst. Here is the gimmick. The only thing that really holds this back from being broken are the amount of ghosts, right, in OU right now. Ghosts are probably still the best type. They're just so good, right? Spin blocking, the coverage. But if you can get this thing in, it does dodge the Shadow Ball turning into a normal type. You lose all the weaknesses that you have as a dragon and flying type as well. But the calculations on this thing with specs, Terra Normal Boom Burst with that 140 base power, it blows things back. It easily OHKOs unresisted things. And it's gonna like 2-hit KO things like Toxapex bulky or even Florges bulky. You're gonna have to go into a ghost type or like a Garganical, like a rock type. But that's why this set also has U-turn. Draco Meteor can hit you extremely hard, and Flamethrower is gonna hit those steel types that resist the Boom Burst. Ghost Noivern is going to be a Scarf Shadow Ball set. That's just crazy. This is nonsense. The point of this is just to show you the other moves that it does get. It gets, as you know, U-turn here. Defog as well. It does get Roost as well. Stab Hurricane is going to be great. That can be on a spec set. Focus Blast as well for those dark types, fighting types. You can turn Ghost to become a spin blocker. It also gets Shadow Ball. So if you do turn Ghost, you could run Specs or Scarf as well. Hit Shadow Ball. It's going to hit things very hard that aren't expecting it. Noivern meta. Noivern future. Give it a try. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Try it out. It might pick up a few kills for you. I know there are a lot of things in the meta that are better, but it's fun and it's really good. Let's look at the next one. Okay, this one's too crazy. This one might just be too crazy. This one might just be too crazy for you guys, but just hear me out, okay? I got two Earthworm sets here. electric earthworm with leftovers. This is a bulky max D electric earthworm. You have no weaknesses with this set. So that's where that idea came from. You turn your one weakness as an electric type into an immunity that heals you with the Earth Eater ability. So you have 0 weaknesses and you have 3 resistances and 1 immunity here. So it's gonna be a great stealth rocker, a great spiker, and a great body press user. It also gets shed tail. So this is really cool. Of course, steel type is great. You don't even have to terastallize, but it's really cool that you can do this with earthworm. The other earthworm set is a poison earthworm, leaving your only weakness to psychic when you're immune to ground and it heals you. Hear me out. Black sludge, max spadef, coil set. This thing also gets curse, but coil as well. Body press, iron tail, protect. It also gets metal burst, which is a cool option. If you get 1 or 2 coils up, protect, start healing. The only thing they can hit you with is on the special side with a psychic move, basically. I mean, yeah, you can come in with like a Specs, Chi Yu, overheat, and probably blow it back, but that's about it. I mean, it's gonna catch things off guard. Don't quote me, I haven't tried it, but this came to mind when I was doing the electric earthworm. So I'm gonna put this on a team and try it out. You guys try it out too, let me know how it works, or don't. I don't know, let's go to the next one. That's crazy though, that's a crazy Pokemon right there, so crazy. And just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, just hear me out on this one, okay? Sandy Shocks. 101 base speed, timid nature, you're outspeeding all those base 100s, right? What a wonderful speed tier. You've got stab ground, stab electric, you terastallize into a fairy type. What this does for fairy type Sandy Shocks with energy booster, it allows it to boost your special attack, or you could boost your speed. And what it does is it gives you perfect, super effective coverage in all of OU, except for 4 Pokemon. Scizor, Volcarona, I believe Amoonguss. What's the other one? Let me see. And Mousehold. Mousehold is the last one. Everything else gets super effectively hit by Sandy Shocks. That's why you come in mid game with this, start blowing things back, get up maybe a hazard or 2 if you want to boost speed, you can here. You can customize your EVs however you want. Of course, you start clicking spikes. It also gets stealth rock, but this Pokemon turning into a fairy type is designed offensively. Here is a choice spec set with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt. You can put this on a rain team with Thunder. It's no longer a ground type. It's a fairy type, which is incredible. Of course, Terra Blast, Fairy, Thunderbolt, and Volt Switch hit everything. Super effective stab damage, except those 4 Pokemon. So really cool. Check it out. It hits a ton of things in UU for super effective damage as well. I've tried it before. It's worked. A Life Orb is great as well. I mean, there's so many things we're still discovering. This is a really cool one. You don't see much Sandy Shocks, so I think it's more of an offensive utility fast Pokemon. That speed tier is great, so wanted to share that one with you guys. Okay, Big Daddy Hyde. Big Daddy Hyde is beastin' in VGC now a little more than it is in singles and Smogon. Poison type Hyde Dragon, Hydreigon with the ability Levitate is going to leave you with only 1 weakness, of course, in Psychic, which is covered great by your Dark typing. This is a Life Orb set here, max speed timid with Nasty Plot, 3 attack. Hyde has such great special coverage that you can really play with this based on what your team needs or based on what the meta is really saying. But of course, you're going to want to get that stab Dark Pulse. The flinch chance is great. Fire Blast is it's powerful and it has such good coverage, fire in general. And then here the Poison Terra Blast if you want that to hit the fairies. Hyde also gets a lot of other great moves. Here is a Spadef set. Hydreigon did lose Roost, so that's a big deal for it. But it still gets Taunt, right? It still gets U-turn, it still gets Stealth Rock, the way the Darkened Dragon switches into a poison type with Levitate, defensively and offensively covers its weaknesses and has really good coverage. Black Sludge, really cool, huh? But it is missing Roost. It would like to have Roost back on this set, but Taunt is so good in this game. U-turn's great. This is a choice specs poison set. You could of course run U-turn on the special set as well. Fire Blast, Flash, Terra Blast, Focus Blast as a poison type with the specs. This in particular is a modest set just to hit as hard as possible. The 295 speed, that outspeeds Goldango. So you could hit it with a Specs Dark Pulse, a lot of other things. Now that doesn't outspeed your base 100s. It doesn't outspeed Baxcalibur at Jolly. But Dark and Dragon is really good for switching into things like Chi Yu and can do big work. It's unfortunate that we're not seeing much Hyde right now in OU. I think it's in UU right now. It's just there's so many other big threats. Poison type is a really cool option for Hydreigon. It's a really crazy option, if you will. Finally, I wanted to share with you guys this Dragon Dance physical set with Hydreigon. It's got Lumberry, DD, Tera Blast, Poison, of course, Crunch, and EQ. That's going to hit really hard. That again is a Adamant set here with a 295 speed. You get a Dragon Dance up. Hopefully you're able to sweep through things. Now Lumberry, you could be Life Orb as well. Could be a lot of different items here on a Dragon Dance set. But Hydreigon is really cool with that Poison type. He likes Fairy type as well, but Poison Hide works really well, especially with Levitate. I think it's really interesting. Shame we don't see it very much. Moving on. Okay, it's time that I reveal it to you guys. The world wasn't ready, but I can't hold it back anymore, and that is Grass type Torkoal with Drought. It is the ultimate sun setter. It's going to counter your rain team as a grass type, coming in, setting the sun up, getting rid of the rain. It's going to get the stab solar beam single turn in the sun. Still going to get that fire stab coverage in the sun, fire and grass stab in the sun. Heat Rock set here, bulky with Rapid Spin and Stealth Rock. What a great utility mon as well. Lava Plume, great fire move, one of the best. 30% chance to burn. Grass is the Tera of choice for Torkoal, of course, with the way the resistances work, right? Fire and ground on fire, not on grass. Grass hits those super effectively. Same thing with water. Fire also covers grass. Ice weakness, bug weakness. They work so well hand in hand. You see a lot of fire types liking to switch into a grass type, but it's perfect for Torkoal, especially getting to come set the sun up and get that solar beam off. Here is a choice Specs Torkoal set. This is actually very popular. It's been around for a while. Grass type as well. Specs solar beam, overheat in the sun. Earth power to hit things that might resist it, like other fire types. Eruption there, incredibly powerful in the sun with Specs. A Rocky Helmet set. This was just to show you guys some other moves that Torkoal gets. Still a grass type, because in this case, just for that defensive resistance. Really, you're wanting to come in and get the sun up, right? And there's a lot of things that you can do with it to fit your team. But such a good sun setter, turning into a grass type. You're going to be able to get that sun up multiple times. You're not weak to rocks anymore. It does get Yawn, of course, Body Press with a max defense set's hitting really hard. 140 defense. Clear Smog there, so clear all. Get Rapid Spin, of course, as well. That's just an option here for the defensive set. Grass type Torkoal, very cool for the defensive reasons, and that stab solar beam single turn in the sun. So, it's a mass outbreak of Torkoals. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you ground type Sylveon. Okay, I'm gonna do a video covering all of the evolutions and why we have to talk about the evolutions. That's coming up very soon. We're playing Create a Pokemon here with we're playing Create a Pokemon in general. We're playing Cap. We're playing the real world Cap. Ground type Sylveon in the same vein as the Fairy type Sandy Shocks. This in particular is a max defense set with leftovers, Calm Mind and Wish, Hyper Voice boosted by the Pixelate 1.2 as a Fairy type attack, and Tera Blast, getting that ground coverage. When you swap from a Fairy type to a ground type, you're essentially covering that steel and poison weakness. Ground hits so super effectively. We already know ground and fairy has phenomenal interactions and covering each other offensively. You get one or two Calm Minds up here, you can definitely run away. Now, you have Dondozo and you have unaware users like Clodsire. Well, good thing I'm a ground type. I tried this set out about a week or two ago, pretty soon after the game first came out, and I was actually doing a lot of work on ladder with it. Fairy types in general are so good. The offensive coverage of fairy is so good right now. Of course, the other option for Sylveon is the fire type, right? Because you can get walled by Corviknight, right? With the other set. Fire type Sylveon. It can also be, of course, choice specs, right? It was, I think the first set Sylveon ever ran was choice specs with like Hyper Voice and Hyper Beam, and it's just blowing things back. Unfortunately, it did lose Mystical Fire because Game Freak said, no, way too powerful, Sylveon. So we got Hyper Voice on here with Stab Pixelate, Specs, Tera Blast as well with the fire, and then you can hit Psyshock for things like Clodsire, hit the poison types. Shadow Ball is there as well to hit other ghost types, right? Because ghost types are so prevalent. But it just goes to show you the coverage that this thing has and the options that you can do with Terastallization and evolutions, okay? The way their stats are set up, we're playing Create a Eevee. We have all 18 evolutions now, by the way. This is just a tip of the iceberg. Now, are they the best Pokemon ever? Yes, 100%. No, they're not, but they could be, right? What are you gonna do versus a water absorb, fire type, heavy duty boots Vaporeon, or a bulky dark type magic bounce Espeon. There's just so many crazy things you can do. Tip of the iceberg, but we'll get into that later. Let's go on the next one. Okay, now we're getting up there. Now we're getting up there with the big hitters. You probably already saw my Dragapult short. Yes, I had to tell you guys that one of the most broken, powerful, incredible Pokemons in this game is Dragapult, and that is pure ghost type Dragapult. And let me show you why. Again, I covered that in the short, but choice specs, U-turn, Draco Meteor, Shadow Ball, Fire Blast, Thunderbolt. That's about all you need. Thunder in the rain. Dragapult works great on rain team. Turning into a ghost type, you lose that ice type and dragon and fairy weakness. Turning into a pure ghost, you keep your spin block. You double your stab with ghost. Of course, you're hitting extremely hard with specs, double stab, Shadow Ball. This set in particular, again, timid, because you can outspeed the entire game basically with this Dragapult. Choice band, U-turn, dragon. That's not it. Ghost. Oh, did I mention Infiltrator? So on all these sets, you can run basically Clear Body or Infiltrator. I prefer Infiltrator, especially with how much screens and substitutes going around. Clear Body is going to be great though for those webs, for Intimidate, especially on a Choice Banded set. Terra Blast there for the double stab. Terra Blast Ghost Choice Banded, gonna blow things back. Yeah, you have the Dark Quartet, and that's why we have the Dark Quartet, because of monsters like this just absolutely annihilating with stab ghost type attacks, and there's being like almost no resistances. Of course, the most broken one here, the Dragon Dance Life Orb set. Terra Blast. Why are these still Dragon? Ghost, Terra, double stab, Dragon Darts, and then finally Substitute or Sucker Punch. You can do either. I think on the Bandit set I have, yeah, Sucker Punch there, Dragon Darts. Now, not perfect coverage, but if you're not going to hit it super effectively, like a King Gambit, just you turn out, right? Substitute is here for things like Sucker Punch, right? Like King Gambit, like dodging an Ice Shard from a Chen Pao, right? You'd have to get the sub up before it comes in, get a Dragon Dance up. But this thing does incredible work. This is why this is S rank. This is why this is at the top of the ladder. Dragapult, still broken. Double stab Terra. You already know about it. There's only one way to describe this, and that's crazy. This is so crazy. And then, ladies and gentlemen, finally, just kidding, there's one special more bonus one after this. It's not bonus, this is only number 9. Pure Dark, we're doing two double stab back-to-backs with Ghost type Dragapult and Dark type Chen Pao. You can be both Dark or Ice type Chen Pao. It's, again, just an offensive nuke. This is the Pokemon that I've been running that I've climbed the ladder with on a couple accounts. Dark type Choice Band, double stab, Explosion Pao with Sword of Ruin. Can you imagine this Pokemon on like Gen 1? No. It would just click one button and everything died. The whole game dies. It's just so ridiculous. Power creep. We're a power explosion. Power creep is literally an offense. I'm offended. It's a power explosion. I love the double stab priority here with Ice Shard and Sucker Punch. The Dark Choice Banded Sucker Punch, yeah, it's risky, but it can also save you. It saved me before. At the very end of this video, I'm gonna show you guys a replay where this has saved me before and how much damage, how powerful this thing actually is. Got Icicle Crash here as well. I like it because it's so fast and you get that flinch chance. Ice Spinner is there as well. Icicle Spear is there as well. I'm still a Crash user. I like that flinch chance. And then Crunch, this is the move that just destroys Soul. This 2-hit KOs Dondozo. This almost 2-hit KOs Great Tusk. Of course, it doesn't want to switch in because you can Icicle Crash it. This 2-hit KOs Corviknight. This 2-hit KOs like Fairy types. This is ridiculously powerful with the Stab Crunch. Banded. The other option here is the Terra Ice. On this one in particular, I drop Sucker Punch and add Sacred Sword to hit those other dark types, and especially this one you're going to be clicking Ice Shard and Icicle Crash as much as possible with the Choice Band. Again, jolly with that crazy 405 speed. The other set that I've seen that I've run is Heavy Duty Boots. Fighting type here with Swords Dance as well, Icicle Crash, Crunch, and Stab Sacred Sword. That's going to remove those weaknesses. Not Fairy, but you are going to get that Stab Sacred Sword. You're not afraid of the Psychic types because you have that dark coverage. And it's not really about the defense interplay here. It's about the offensive presence, the offensive power. You come in, get a Swords Dance up. Now, you do sacrifice no priority here, but it's so hard to tell. That's why they had to make this thing weak to rocks, because it's just, or that's why they made this thing so powerful, because it was weak to rocks, right? There's really cool options. Of course, you could run Life Orb, but the ice and the dark coverage stab, and then with the fighting on top of it, it's just blowing everything back. I think this is better than Chi-Yu. I think it is. I think it's that good. Try this Pokemon if you haven't already. I mean, just try the Tera Dark Banded Crunch and see how much damage that does, and you'll be blown away. So, Jinpao, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Crazy Game Freak. Finally. Garganacl, Ghost type, Garganacl. Garganacl turning Ghost type. If you haven't seen it already, I'm sure you have. This Pokemon is almost broken. It's phenomenal. The Rock type turning into a Ghost type. You're covering that fighting weakness, turning it into an immunity. And you're becoming only weak to Dark type with the ability Purifying Salt, having your Ghost type damage. This set in particular is a max SPDEF Iron Defense set. If you haven't seen this already, Iron Defense Body Press, so powerful here because you can't be status with Purifying Salt. You got leftovers as well for recovery. This thing also gets recover. This thing broke the game. Game Freak, what are you doing? Salt Cure, incredible move. One of the best moves ever. I'd put this on any Pokemon with the amount of damage it does every turn, and you can't get rid of it. You can't like rapid spin it off. So this is so scary because if you get one Iron Defense up, Salt Cure and Body Press can just sweep you because things like Dondozo don't want to switch in because you're a Ghost type and you're going to click super effective Salt Cure, and you can't be Toxic or Will-O-Wisp or Status. In fact, Garganacl is in a tier of its own with Hisui and Zoroark as the only two Pokemon that resist the quote-unquote perfect coverage of Ghost and Fighting, as long as this Terastallizes into something weak to Ghost, a type that resists Fighting, like Bug or Fairy or Flying, and then it of course has the resistance to Ghost as well with Purifying Salt. The other set here is the defensive bulky defensive set with Rocky Helmet, boosts up that body press as well. Salt Cure, of course, Stealth Rock, a great option for Garganacl. It's going to be a staple here in Recover as well. Ghost type as well. You're getting hazards up and they're unable to spin it away, and you click Salt Cure and Recover and they cannot toxic. If you have not used Garganacl yet, you're missing out. It's one of the best Pokemon in the game right now, and they know it. I mean, the ability, the move, they're giving it Recover, the access to rocks and body press with this amount of D and bulk, ridiculous. Rocky Helmet, so good. It's going to eat physical hits for days and it's going to chip you and recover it off. What if it Iron Defense is up on you? Crazy Garganacl, crazy Game Freak. Okay, let me know which of these 10 you think is the craziest. If you watch to the end of this video, and crazy in what way? Crazy bad, crazy stupid, crazy good, crazy OP, or just crazy, or maybe it's crazy cool. Now I want to show you this replay on why Chanpao is broken with a Dark type. Now I want to show you a quick replay on why Chanpao is broken with a Dark Tera type and a Choice Band. We're going up against Annihilate D's, and I want to show you just how powerful this Chanpao with Choice Band is with a Tera Dark type. So I get hacks kind of in this game, and then I get some really cool justice at the end. So start things off, make sure the music is off. Dark type, I'm on this side. Play, put it maybe on fast, right? I leave with Chanpao, I go straight to a Dark type, and I just click Crunch, and I just straight up Oko his Annihilate turn 1. Okay, that makes sense. But he goes into Chi-Yu, right? Let's put it on normal, actually. Might be a little fast. Comes into Chi-Yu, what do I do here? Go Clodsire. Does he Specs Overheat? I don't know. That's Scarf. Specs does more than that. At this point, probably going to either Spike or Recover. Go ahead and just recover that up. Goes for the knockoff into my Rotom Wash. This Rotom was a mixed defensive set, didn't have enough D. He's an offensive Life Orb, Great Tusk, knocks me off CCs, kills my Rotom. It does not check that Great Tusk that well. Coming to Iron Valiant, gonna click probably Moonblast, hits everything, at least makes contact with everything. Glamora should outspeed this. I do have the Psyshock to kill the Glamora. As you can see, this is my Life Orb, Iron Valiant. He goes back into Chi-Yu as a Scarfer. I make a great predict on the Psychic and go into Goldango. And I eat that well. He predicts me to... And I make another phenomenal double back into Chanpao on his Roaring Moon. This legendary plays. I've earned it. So let's get some big damage here. Oh, so we missed the Icicle Crash on the Chi-Yu. Cool game. So we switch into Clodsire. He makes a great read, but we can eat the Psychic very easily because we're max SPDEF here. So I'm going to go ahead and click Toxic on the predicted Great Tusk. Great play. What do I do here? Just go Corviknight. Corviknight. As he spins, I should be Rocky Helmet. Unless this is a left. Yeah, Rocky Helmet. Probably just going to U-turn out. We're taking care of the Great Tusk nicely. He CCs. He's going to take that Rocky Helmet again. I don't know if I Yeah, I just U-turn. So Great Tusk is down. Yeah, just go into Chien-Pao just to take some damage. I'm gonna probably, just to get some damage, probably gonna bait out the Chi-Yu. He doesn't. He goes into Goldango and make it rains into my Corviknight. Can I eat another one? No, I cannot. I'm gonna be just out of range. I do have some Spadef on that Corviknight, but we're in a good spot. I want to go into Goldango. Oh, I predict the switch beautifully because he has to get out of there. Oh, missed the Focus Blast. This must be Bright Powder Chi-Yu. Make another phenomenal prediction, and then I go into my Iron Valiant on his Dark Pulse. I make another phenomenal double out into my own Goldango and lose the speed tie. Lose the Shadow Ball speed tie. What can you do? He's going to get all the luck. Clodsire comes in to get spikes up. I'm going to have to pull a miracle here. I'm just going to probably keep clicking spikes, maybe recover here. I need to get as much spike stacking damage on his other Pokemon as possible. I just keep spiking there. I don't Toxic on the predicted switch. I'm just going to let him kill me. What do? Toxic? Yeah, I Toxic there in case he's going to set up. I don't know if he's already used his Tera or not, but I am going to sacrifice the Clodsire there. Got to go out into the killer here, Chien-Pao. I got to pick up some kills. Crunch is going to do 67 to Roaring Moon. He outrages, and I live on 3, and he dies to Toxic. That is a crazy powerful Crunch. But he goes into Goldango to hit me with the Scarf, or I think it was Specs. But it's Scarf. He steals, he tears into steel and blows me back. I got a double. It's all over now, but I click Sucker Punch. Does 84 to steal non-ghost Goldango. Chi-Yu. I'm like, oh, it's all over now. Scarf is going to kill me, right? Just like, hey, did that do 84? Did that do 84%? Yeah, it critical hit, but that's justice right there for missing moves. Yeah, I know. I was going for inaccurate moves, but I made some legendary doubles in that game. Point is, Chien-Pao, if you click the right move and you get it in offensively, and your attacks land, it's night-night. Goodbye, other team. Incredible Pokemon, guys. Thank you so much. Please drop a like on this video. And did you know that there is not a single Pokemon in the game right now that gets both Defog and Knockoff? They knew how broken Torn T was and Lando. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Drop a fat like on this one. Leave a comment. Let me know how crazy this is. Take care. God bless.